what this means is we have to estimate overhead costs. So in this case, this represents our estimate. And we also have to have a method of allocating that estimated cost to specific batches of goods. Say, for example, you go in and have your car repaired. You might get a bill for that, and it says $100 for parts and $100 for labor. Now, they probably didn't keep track of exactly how many hours the mechanic spent installing the parts and so on. What they probably did was look back at their history, and they found that in general their labor costs roughly equaled the amount of the cost of the parts that they installed for people. So they probably came up with a rule, something like every time we install parts on a car for $100, we're going to assume that the cost of the labor for installing those parts ought to be about $100. And so that's what they did. They came up with a rule for charging you for the labor. Well, we're trying to come up with a rule for charging each batch of goods we produce with an appropriate share of the total overhead costs that we expect to incur. And traditionally, managerial accountants have done this based on direct labor, either direct labor costs or direct labor hours. And so here, in this example, I've listed direct labor costs, and I'm estimating that the direct labor costs are going to be $25 during quarter one, $25 during quarter two, $25 during quarter three, and $25 during quarter four. So I'm expecting to have a total of about $100 of direct labor costs and a total of about $1,000 of overhead costs. So you can see that if we divide direct labor dollars into into overhead costs, total overhead costs that we expect, then we get an overhead application rate of $10 per direct labor dollar.